Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Diriyah E-Prix round 1 here, back into season 9 of the Ferl season, and we are starting off, as you can see, the cars coming out the pit lane for qualifying, the first qualifying of the season in Ferl. This is season 9, the 9th season going in this league. We are watching currently Benny Manning coming out of the league. Take it nice and slowly to warm up his tyres, prepare for qualifying. Qualifying is going to be 15 minutes today, and we'll see who qualifies at the top. There are obviously lots of drivers here today, so you'll have some. Sorry about that. We are back. Continues, and we follow Benny Manning. Now we move on to Ratikoi. We are back. Continues, and we follow Benny Manning. Now we move on to Ratikoi. We are back. Continuing with Ratikoi now on his lap coming through here, nice and tight into the walls, and this is what you want to do around Diriyah. You need to be nice and tight, close to the walls to get the optimal time around here. That's the main point of FE tracks. You need to be nice and tight to the wall, and it can get very slippery sometimes, as we see him overtaking that driver there on the qualifying lap. Comes through very close to the curve there, misses the apex slightly out through there. Could have gone with a slightly closer line to the turn, and very nicely through there. Now he follows through this turn, a bit wide there, I'd say. It comes up in a nice exit, now continuing down here, flat out through this corner now, and comes round the next corner, flat out as well, and he's on a good lap there so far, and we'll check the second times once it comes to an end, and he's going to come end his first flying lap, and very nicely go P2. Never Heated is on a better lap currently, as it seems, and he now comes through the both mechanic drivers. Yes, I think loads of mechanic drivers, I believe. I'll be wrong in saying that. Now going to come across the line, and he sets a 1:47, so that's the banker lap here in Diriyah. 1:47 to get onto that provisional pole position. He comes through now through these turns. Never Heated is doing very well. Now Ratikoi obviously going to want to. Now Nick, a previous, sorry if I can see if I can get Nick for you on the UI. I can't. Let's go on board sampling. He's moving through the attack mode. I didn't know there was attack mode in qualifying, but he starts his lap shortly. Now coming through here onto these two turns, and currently 16.9, not the best time. The Super Striker will be looking to improve from that P10, and he's now come around on his lap, and hopefully moves up into that high position. Super Striker, as we know, is one of the faster drivers in the Ferl, and hopefully he will be able to set a good banker lap for himself. Very nicely, as we see sampling going as well slightly there, and some bad lines, something really qualifying session for the first 5 minutes of sampling. But hopefully he can improve in the future sessions. Now we see Super Truck coming around these few turns, and currently has a 24.1, 29.9, improving in both the first 2 turns, and he goes. Super Striker, 2P7, so not a great lap for himself, 2 seconds off the pace currently. And we'll be looking to improve on that time, but let's go back to Never Heated, the current man that sits at that number one position. Nick is P2 currently, obviously I can't unfortunately certificate Nick, but he's improving his lap time now, that fastest middle sector for Nick, and obviously I do apologise for not being able to view Nick, but we are still on board with Never Heated. Nick, the team owner, stepping in to replace one of his drivers throughout this race now, and we see Never Heated come nice and tight, getting a little shaky after that turn, and he goes 23.3 in that first sector, sorry, 23.2 in the first sector, and Nick takes a 104.1, improving that time by 4 tenths from Never Heated. Now comes round. Never Heated's going to need to get a good sector 2 here. He gets very slidey through there, but takes it very nicely. And oh no, he slides and spins on a great lap there. He could have been 23.2, the fastest first sector we've seen all session, but he goes out and goes wide there. And takes a very bad line, unfortunate for him. Sampling, the man that sits still in P11, nearly last, is now coming around these few corners and is lost on improvement this lap. And obviously, hopefully his engineer will be looking into that, why he's so slow around this track. And obviously he wants to have a good start to the season, but this way it's not looking like he's going to have a good start to the season here at Diriyah, qualifying at least. And obviously, like he's the former man I knew was very fast, and he's obviously showing his pace. P5 today in qualifying currently, and obviously 8 minutes to go in qualifying session. We see one of the McKenna drivers getting a bit close to the wall there, and actually touching the wall there. Now comes through here, and they're having a little side-by-side battle, as we can see coming through these turns, and he goes ahead and look at that Super Striker, the man who is currently sitting in P8, wants to improve obviously. He knows he can be faster and wants to be fast around this circuit, and he's taking a very nice line through them first turns as he comes around, and he's going to want to finish this lap on a high. If he can improve his last sector, that might just be it, but I don't think he will, and he can't. It's a 107.2 for him, a very slow time from him. And Super Olin is improving his lap time just behind him, and Formula Racing P4 currently will be looking to improve, get into that top 3 positions, but currently is doing very well. And if we go on board with a Radicoin now, the man in P3 looking to improve his few times, so as we see Never Heated win a 19.7 in the last lap, fastest third sector we've seen, still not taking that middle sector from Nick, but if Never Heated can put this one lap time together, he will certainly be the driver for P1 at the moment. Now let's go on board with Never Heated. Bit of traffic on his lap here, but all should be fine for himself. It's a 23.291, amazing first sector. That could be a first sector that puts him onto that number 1 spot here in qualifying. Now coming through this turn, very nice and tight. Wants to keep a nice flat out line through here. Don't want to go too close to the wall, because obviously then next upcoming turn, very nice through there, and he's done that perfectly. 21.2 in the middle sector, not a bad middle sector for himself. Now coming through here into a heavy braking zone, nice tight turn through here, then into a left-hand off, coming out of that left-hander chicane, very much like Monza for Formula 1 fans out there, and now comes into a hard braking zone into a right-hand turn, and it's going to be a 104.4. So he's still 3 tenths off the number 1 driver, Nick, with a 104.1. And he's now come around this turn. He's still pushing for that better lap time, very close to the wall there, as you would. No other driver would dare to get that close to the wall in sector 1, and that's possibly why he's repping out the best sector 1 to the moment. Here he comes now through, very close to that Marshall there, very close, and you have to get very close through there. And now comes through that left-hander very with much speed, and now comes through that left-hander again, and into another right-hander. Comes through there and hits the wall slightly. This is not going to be an improvement for him this lap. Now let's go on board with Benny Banny. Benny Banny is currently sitting in P9, and it's not looking to improve this lap, and still comes down that right-hand turn. Wonderful job from him, and hits the wall slightly though, so that could unfortunately ruin his lap time and lap time for the next lap. And he hits the wall again, as we see. Now let's go on board with Sampling. Sampling is the man that still sits in P11. And is looking to improve as he slides and hits the wall, and we see Never Heated done that as well. So maybe that is a turn to watch for the race if people will spin out and lose position there. We now will follow through through and hits the wall there again. And now, as he comes through, starting in the next lap sampling, he needs to improve. 4 minutes left to go, and each lap takes about 1 minute 5, so he's at about 3 laps left, 2 laps left in him at the maximum. If he crashes and he hits the wall there again, that's not going to be a great lap for him. He still needs to improve. Lap time ahead of him, his fastest lap is on 1:08, and the next lap time ahead of him is an entire second. He really does need to improve through here. As you see, drivers get very close to the curve. What a wonderful camera that is, and he goes wide again, and you see he's just not taking the right lines compared to other drivers, and people will have to think about this. How fast will Champion be in the race? Because obviously, as long as he makes no mistakes, and other people could make mistakes, it could benefit him. But currently, he's sitting quite far back in the pack, and he spins again. He's struggling through that turn, and Taki's improving at the moment as well. If we come on board with Taki's, you see many drivers coming through there. Now he comes through, wonderfully done on the exit, and he goes. Well, not an improvement actually, it's the 105.3, so missing out slightly in that middle sector, and his Never He is last lap. And now Never He is on the 23.1, he's looking to gain that #1 position in qualifying now, comes through this light stern, very nice and tight to the wall and doesn't spin out, and he's still got to look forward to that fast left right-hander upcoming as he comes through this flat right-hander into a sharp right-hander just after that turn, and he's going to come to cross the line, and he's going to go, apologies, that's not the line, I keep forgetting which one's the line, and he comes through now in the left-hander, very tightly done. 21.0 is very good in that second sector. Now comes very close to the right wall, and this is going to be where he sets his lap, and it's a 104.1 flat, and he meets Nick by 6 hundredths of a second. So Nick now is the man that is going to want to beat him, and drivers are going to be on their final lap shortly. This is certainly going to be Never He is penultimate lap, so he needs to get this lap done, and obviously he's going to be quite happy with himself after that last lap. And Taki's will go on board with Taki's as well. This man has the time to improve, and just doesn't want to improve yet, so it's going to be a little cautious for him. He knows he's going to improve, he knows he has the pace to improve, so what will he do in these final 2 minutes of qualifying? Now we go on board with Super Striker. Super Striker, he knows he can do better, and currently sits at D7, he's going to want to get to the top 5. But whether he can do that, he doesn't know. And as he crosses the line here, he improves in the final sector, but it's a 1:19.2, so obviously not pushing out that lap. And comes very close, and I'm assuming he's going to push this lap as his penultimate lap. Basically, if he wants to win that final lap, if he hits the wall slightly there. And Outguard also another one coming in P6, and also wants to improve just to get into that top 5, so he's only got to improve by a little bit. And currently it's a 104.1 and a 105.4, so 1.3 separate P1 and P5, 1.3 second gap to P1 and P5. But we'll be wondering what he can do through here, and as we see, he comes through very slowly. So I wonder what he's trying to do. Maybe he's trying to set himself up for a next lap. His final lap is going to be the next one if he goes through and pushes through. And Never He did not improve in his last lap. He chilled out for the last lap and knows he's going to have to improve this lap if he wants to confirm that pole position. We all know Nick can set a blissful lap time around here. Never He comes very close to there, and he's currently improving, but so is Nick improving. But Nick is quite a lot off in that middle sector, so Nick, I don't see Nick improving, but Nick has that fastest first sector, and Never He comes across the line with a 104.1 faster than Nick's previous lap time, and Nick isn't going to look to improve around this time. Nick possibly got one more lap in there. I'm not too sure if he got through that line just in time, but Super Striker, this is definitely his final lap, and Super Striker is going to be looking to improve. It's at 24.2 in the first sector, so he's 2.1 seconds off the fastest time, so I don't see him improving this time around, and unfortunately that's going to be Super Striker's lap out at 1:05.9, I believe, and this is basically going to be the rest of the grid currently. Super Striker is into that tiny little bit, and unfortunately for Super Striker, 1:06.1, so not good enough. He needs to improve, and a lot of drivers don't know how to get that fast time in sector 1 there, and that's where the two in front are gaining out, and Morocco is also there in there, up there as well with him, and hopefully drivers are going to want to get that blistering speed and better position there. As we see people crossing right now, there's some people coming into the pits. More people, Monkey Ball comes across that pit then, and sets his final lap completion in the normal sector, but sampling P12, so never hitting P1, Nick P2, Ratico P3, and Taki's P4, so he did get into that top 5 positions. Like I said, he will push for him, it's a 1:05.0 for him, so he was only 5 tenths off again. P3 is quite a lot, but in Form League there's always time to improve from these drivers, and they obviously will during the race. For further laps to confirm the times. I'm assuming that all's confirmed anyways. As we do hear the sounds of the car there. We P6 will enter the one shot, so we'll resume coverage shortly. You now join me back as we're about to go into the Super Bowl qualifying system, which is the top 6. And we are currently on board with Taki's. He's coming around the lap there. What a wonderful sector one that is from himself. As we continue down now, coming from that start line, so that's where the drivers will start. And he's now coming around through there, and he gets very close to the wall there, but he's now going to start a lap as we see, and he now is going to come in a heavy braking zone around this left hand turn and gets there very nicely, very close to the wall through there. Now needs to get very close to the wall again and gets very close as he does, and now comes around here. Now into here is the left hander into a right hander straight away, and now into the left hander once again, and here we go. He's now flying round for his lap here as Formula comes out to the pit lane there as he gets very close to the wall once again. In this bit you can spin, but he gets that perfectly through there. Now Taki's is setting a very good lap time, as it seems currently 24.1 in the first sector. That's what we see most drivers being able to do, but the faster drivers at the front do a lot faster, 22.9s, 23.1s, low 23s, and he comes through here. Very good sector 2 as well, 21.5 is very good, only 3 tenths off the fastest sector 2 we saw in qualifying in Q1 basically. Now comes through here, he needs to get very nice to the wall into heavy braking zone, needs to get very prepared. Now comes through that heavy braking zone, gets very close to the wall there, and it's a 105.7, decent lap for him and himself and the team, and we'll now go on board. Well, I thought Formula was meant to go. Oh no, Formula has gone, and we now are on board with Formula, who is preparing and warming up his tyres for his lap, as we now see him come around this final turn to start his lap. A little slow on that starting at the on the starting bit of the lap, but now he's going to come through into the left-hander, hard braking zone into the left-hander, and wants to get very nice into close to the wall on the right. Now comes through these fast few S turns, and through here into braking zone, into the left-hander, into another right-hander, fast right-handers. There are a lot of fast left-handers through here. Now comes speeding through around that right-hand turn, and he doesn't want to get too close to the curbs, and he does want to get a bit closer to the curb there. As we see the camera, and he can get slidey through this bit, like I said, and he doesn't get slidey through there perfect. Oh no, he does get a little slidey through there himself, and that's going to lose him like 2 tenths or 1 tenth through here. Now comes speeding down another bendy section of the track, and now going to come into a right-hander, which prepares himself for this back straight here. Now I'm going to be into a hard braking zone on the right-hander, then into a hard braking zone, another right-hander, so double right-hander coming up here. No, sorry, this is the chicane. I'm all over the place currently because this is an intense moment. Now into the right-hander, double right-hander, here we go. And he's a lot faster through this lap, a lot faster than Q-Tack, and I'm going to put him on provisional pole for now. Now out. Here we are with I believe that sorry guys, let me just reset myself. Apparently I'm outgoed, so unfortunately guys, unfortunately for you, I'm not going to be able to spectate outgoed's lap. It was a 105.7. So Arako is out the pits now, and he's now coming through this left-hander, and he's going to take this lap nice and slow, warm up the tyres very nicely, and come through here and take it nice. And Taki's obviously should be returning to the pits. Now comes through this right-hander, and this is the moment where he has the time to prepare shortly for his next lap. This is where you need to make sure your tyres are warm. You are prepared, mentally prepared and physically prepared. Obviously it takes a lot of skill to drive these cars around here, and it's very tight as he comes into the first right-hander, into the second right-hander, which is the final turn. here, and he's now going to start his lap as he comes speeding down this main straight, top speeds down here, and he's going to come into this braking zone on the left hand, and gets very not too close to the wall on the right, but gets very close to the wall on the left there, as we see him come flying through here into this braking zone, very much like a Jeddah for the Formula 1 fans through here, and gets very, we'll see that marshal wall sticks out there and he misses it perfectly fine, comes through here on the right hander and gets very onto that curve. We've seen other drivers opt for a more optimal line through there, not going to that line, but gets doesn't want to get too slidey out of here and doesn't get slidey at all, now comes through very nicely. Now he's going to prepare himself for that back straight, which is very fast coming through these S sections now, and he's going to be good. Very good lap time currently on a 23.5 in that first sector, so very good, the best we've seen currently. And now comes flying down here, 21.1 in the second sector. This is a very fast lap time from Aratigoi himself. Now breaks into this right-hander zone, into a left-hander, very much like the Monza circuit, turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. And now comes through this penultimate corner in a very flying lap, and now into that final turn. Needs to get that perfect exit for him, and it's a 104.5. That's going to be hard to beat from other drivers we've seen. Other drivers beat it before in other turns, but this is the current lap time that's going to put him up into P1. So currently P1 Aratigoi, followed by Fauna Racing, Outguard, Takis, and Nick's now going to be out on the lap, and I still can't spectate Nick, unfortunately, so that's going to be an issue. But Never Heat comes out of the pits now, so the man that qualified P1 in the standard qualifying session will exit the pits now, and that's the reason why he gets to go last out of everyone, and need to be mentally prepared what Nick, and I believe we saw Nick spinning when Never Heat came out the pits, but I'll update you on that shortly, and maybe I can get a little spectate, possibly. Unfortunately, there's a system with the spectate system where I can't spectate Nick, but that is unfortunately the case, so we'll continue through here, and as we see him come around now through these few turns, obviously not on his flying lap yet, but he will certainly be looking to mentally prepare himself, and if that means going fast for himself, that means going fast as we see him come flying around. No other driver does this on his out lap, only really Never Heated, as he comes flying through here, now left turn into there, and now gets very close to the wall, so he's already started a flying lap on a non-flying lap, obviously. And he's going to come through that final turn. Very good exit through there. That's going to get him gaining a 10th surely through that first sector. Now comes in this left-hander. Wants to get close to the wall on the right. Does not get very close, but it comes very close on the left hand, and the right-hand turn gets very nicely through here. Brakes late, misses the apex slightly through there, but it's very clean through there as well. And he doesn't want to mess up his lap. We saw him slightly inconsistent through there. Now comes very close to that apex, and now comes through here. Doesn't want to get too slidey. We saw him spin in the standard qualifying session, and he gets very slidey through there. This could mean a Aratigoi pole position around here as he comes through here, now very close to this left-hander wall and into the right-hander through this slippery S section, and now into the right-hander, setting up himself on the back straight. And this is going to be in the chicane coming up in the hard right-hander into the quick left-hander. You want to get a nice 2 apexes through here, and he does get a nice apex in that left turn, and a nice apex on that nice apex on the right turn, nice apex on the left turn into the penultimate corner, flat out through there, and a hard braking zone into the final corner right hand turn, and he hits the wall, and it's only P2 for himself, Sir Aratigoi. It's a McKenna 1-2, a McKenna lockout front row there, and Never Heated doesn't want to take pole, and himself and his teammate takes P1. Aratigoi himself has taken P1. Big congratulations to McKenna drivers, and obviously Never Heated got very slidey through there and still came P2. So it's Aratigoi P1, Never Heated P2, Formula Racing P3, Outguard P4, Nick P5, and Takis P6. The rest of the grid will follow by these qualifying times. They sit in the standard times, as we see him doing some crazy donuts through here, and stops very perfectly on the racing line. There we go. He continues a lap round there. Very nicely by himself. Aratigoi takes P1 here in Diriyah qualifying. Sets himself up for a good start of the season through here. Gets himself up for the first race of the season very nicely. And that is it for qualifying today, and we'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.